You see, I'm not really copying Fantano because there's a lot of hot takes, and the opinions are from me, not my fans. Kendrick is the greatest rapper of all time, and by the end of his career, it's not even gonna be close. There is currently no hip-hop discography better than the one on screen now. These are all great, he's never missed. 2 of these are some of the best rap albums ever, and he still has at least a decade to make more classic projects. Weezer's White Album should be recognized as top tier within their discography. I'm not saying Blue and Pinkerton aren't amazing, they certainly are, but I think White is on the same level. The songwriting on it is some of their most entertaining to date, and it has a ton of replay value. Songs like Barbie Girl by Aqua and Boom 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 by Vanga Boys were super ahead of their time, and they would be considered high art if they came out today. If these musicians were on the rise now, they'd join the PC music camp, and Pitchfork would be putting them on an album of the year list. The official undisputed ranking of Beatles members from best to worst is George, Paul, John, and Ringo. Graduation is not in Kanye's top 5 albums. It's great, but Barry Bonds is a bottom tier Kanye track, and the album has less of an emotional punch than a lot of his other stuff. I don't know what my exact order would be, but all of these would definitely be above Graduation. If Maggie Rogers continues to go in the direction of her most recent single, rather than the super overproduced sounds of her debut album, she is going to be one of the most important artists of the next couple of decades. I think her songwriting has more than proven itself already, she has a good voice, and her energy is top notch. LP carries most of the weight in Run the Jewels. Mike is a high quality rapper, don't get me wrong, but LP's flows and lyrics tend to be more dynamic, his beats and production are a solid chunk of why these albums are so amazing, and for a very politically charged rapper, Mike's politics can be a little hit or miss for me. Soundgarden was better than the vast majority of popular rock bands from the 90s. Miguel's Kaleidoscope Dream is one of the best albums of the 2010s. I know people enjoyed it and everything, but it could be top 25, and I don't see anyone talking about it on their end of the decade lists right now. The mix of pop, funk, and R&B was fantastic, and this project has a couple of the best love songs in a long time. It'll be dropping on the day that I put this video out, but I am so excited for Mac Miller's posthumous album, Circles. A vast majority of posthumous albums are soulless cash grabs for record labels, but I think this is an example of a good one. This is reportedly something that Mac had been working very hard on, and I think it's safe in the hands of legendary composer and producer John Bryan. I don't know if it's for biology reasons or something, but I think the best female vocalists are better singers than the best male vocalists. From Aretha Franklin and Whitney Houston to Ariana Grande and Amy Winehouse, I'd pick that group over pretty much any group of male vocalists ever. After listening to Nostalgia Ultra, Channel Orange, Endless, and Blonde constantly for the past few years, I think one of these aged much worse than all the others. A bad album cover helps a bad album. A bad album cover doesn't change anything about a good album album cover doesn't change anything about a bad album, and a good album cover helps a good album. Big Sean is truly one of the worst rappers I've ever heard. His lyrics are dreadfully corny, he doesn't have a single decent project, and his commercial success is baffling to me. Lil Pump is infinitely more interesting. The world would be a much better place if more people listened to film scores. I have no real reasoning behind this one, but I do have strong feelings about it. People look up to Beyonce as a feminist icon, which rightfully so, she's a phenomenal entertainer, but if all was right in the world, I think Janelle Monáe would be at her level of success. She's the superior musician, and when it comes to being a symbol and an icon, her discussion of social and political issues has been much deeper than Beyonce's for a long time. Donald Glover is a very impressive artistic guy, but he's never made a good album, mixtape, EP, whatever. He's a below average rapper and a decent singer that relies too heavily on aesthetics. The same people that care so much about industry plants are the same people that talk about how important it is to separate the art from the artist. Pick one. Either context matters or it doesn't, but stay consistent. I'm gonna steal this one from my weekend ranking video and say that Kissland is his worst album. Even after re-listening to it after that video came out because everybody got all mad, I still think it was an awkward transition period for him, and it's his least interesting project. If people cared about quote-unquote real rap as much as they say they do, Black Thought would be one of the biggest rappers in the world. Nobody has ever possessed his level of skill, his flows, his lyrics, his ability to freestyle, and so on. With that being said, the idea of real rap being the definitive best kind of rap is so played out and stupid. While I think Black Thought is absurdly talented, there's plenty of room for stuff like this, too. Drake is at his best when he's making low-key, nostalgic R&B tunes like Feel No Ways, Passion Fruit, and so on. He's good when he's putting out bangers like on If You're Reading This It's Too Late, but most of his stuff is somewhere right in the middle, and it is so bland. Random Access Memories is a better album than Discovery. The features are absolutely perfect, and I think this might be my pick for my favorite production on any album ever. Justin Bieber is a remarkable talent, and in general, he deserves his success. I'm not saying that all of his stuff is good, but he's made some of the best pop songs of the century, and he gets far too much hate for just being Justin Bieber. And finally, any of these Prince albums are better than any Michael Jackson album. So I hope that was entertaining, and everybody can have a spirited discussion in the comments. Videos like this are meant to be fun, my opinions are my opinions, and I'm not trying to change your mind about anything. Leave a comment below with one of your hottest music takes, and thanks for watching. Thank you for watching that video. If you want to support the channel, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. You can follow me on social media at RenshawHS. You can buy my merch, support my Patreon, and thank you again. I'll see you soon.